Welcome to the HR Empowerment Podcast, where we will uncover strategies and new insights from HR professionals who discuss up-to-date regulations, best practices, and the most pressing topics like diversity and equity, leadership, dealing with difficult situations, and much more that affect your bottom line and business. Thanks for joining us.
Hey everybody, Wendy Sellers here, the HR lady. Welcome back. I'm so excited about our guest today. Today, we have Chris Carter, who has been recognized as one of America's top 10 industry influencers by Mirror Review, and with experience as a 4-time best-selling Amazon author and the enterprise software space. I love this, love this. Listen, Chris, I understand that you love making difficult technology topics accessible and relevant to people like me, leadership and HR audience. So first of all, thank you for your time today.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and how you got to where you are now.
Well, I used to be called Buttercup by my grandmother, first and foremost. So thank you for naming your book after that. Second of all, I've been a technologist literally all my life. I started off playing with Commodore VIC-20s and VIC-20 activities through my high school into college, and love being an entrepreneur. And I've literally started multiple companies throughout the globe and be able to help organizations day in and day out to be able to support them in their needs.
I love that. I love that you started out by saying you really like making difficult technology topics accessible to people, but definitely, HR audiences, because I myself, I consider myself a little bit of a techie. I could figure things out, but it's only on the user side. I can't always figure it out on the behind the scenes side. So thank you so much. I also understand that you've worked with organizations across more than 55 industries. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What are the biggest technology shifts that you're seeing that are transforming how HR teams operate today?
Well, that's a great question, because right now everybody thinks of the 2-letter acronym AI.
Yep.
And literally AI is just revolutionizing everything from creating your resume to finding out how badly you lied on your resume with people.
So true.
And you get both sides of the coin. And with AI, you could be able to, I'm using AI with companies that run SAP software on how to be able to support themselves, being able to put in their time off, being able to validate their time, being able to validate their medical capabilities, working through the HR changes that happen in everybody's life day in and day out, and sometimes automating those processes. And so from a HR standpoint, literally every day our team is working, and our HR team, it's our functional team, is working with somebody in the SAP ecosystem or Oracle to support them in these journeys. And it's amazing. You talk about AI. Well, now everybody wants a bot. Everybody wants a chat bot.
Yep.
And everybody wants these bots that do things. And you have to create those. You can try to share, and I hope that companies do share their HR bots and their finance bots and such, but they also need to, at the end of the day, remember that it's a human interaction. So you need bigger, better, faster, stronger humans to be able to use those AI capabilities and to be able to leverage that. So that's a lot going on right now in the AI world for HR.
It really is too. And, not all HR professionals are tech savvy, and that's not meant to be a knock, because that's an entire career, right? Technology is an entire career. And now you're tossing on AI, whether it's something that's being homemade inside or you're buying something, but you need this support. We need to understand what these terminologies are that you just used, right?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Because right now, think about it. We are going through this whole change right now when it comes to human beings and technology. We're ingraining them into us and us into it to be able to do bigger, better, faster, stronger things. And it really starts at a corporate level or an organizational level with the people that you hire and bring in. So HR is the number one task. And before we came on board, I was chit-chatting with my director of HR technology and how we utilize HR internally as well as what we're doing with our HR SAP functional team with companies. And they literally were, Rebecca was all over about what we do, how we do it, why we do it, what they need, what we're doing to be able to support them and understand from us to them to be able to make things happen. And it's a lot more than I thought about, because I was thinking of it from more of a technical side. And
Right.
she just went off the deep end. And I thought, holy cow, we're really doing that? Yes, every day, Chris, every day.
Yeah, I mean, HR has moved, from back office support to a strategic business partner. Let's just
Yes.
face it. And the bottom line is, I don't care what department you're in, marketing, sales, engineering, you name it. We're all here for one common goal.
Mhm.
And most of that goal is to make the company money. Even in the case of nonprofit, I've been on many nonprofit boards, and we still have to
Mhm.
make money in order to achieve our mission and vision, right?
Yes.
So it's so important. Want to share some statistics with
Yeah.
you. One from Gartner, which said that
Right.
67% of HR leaders say their organizations are increasing HR technology budgets to support this digital and artificial intelligence
Yes.
transformation. And so I would hope that could
Yeah.
get closer to 100%, right? But we know that's not always the reality.
Yes.
And the other report, survey result that I was looking at was from Deloitte. Their
Mm.
Global Human Capital Trends report said that 95 or 94% of organizations around the
Um,
world say HR technology is critical in order to improve business outcomes. What are your thoughts on
Absolutely.
that?
They're both absolutely correct. Everything we do from our organization may start from a technology or may start from myself. But when I go out, I have to talk to my HR team and I have to talk to my finance team. It is critical to get them to buy in, because I need to bring my staff up to speed. I need to work through my HR team to educate and to train, because I'm constantly asking them to be one step above what they used to be.
Right.
Instead of being just the baseline down here, I need you educated to be the bigger, better, faster, stronger human in order to use the AI tools that we have in our company. And so I'm working with HR to level them up 1 degree, and then they can go from there. And so from a finance team and HR team and such, it and all of our training works through our HR department. And every single one of our employees gets time. They get 40 hours every year for education purposes. And that all gets run through our HR team. So Rebecca and her team have to take on those responsibility. Who gets what they're doing, why they're doing it, what is it going to be a part of the organization and the structure and their roles. And then they plot out where those roles go, how they go. And so it's vitally important, technology wise, HR wise, finance wise, and our go forward strategy wise, to work together with that.
I love it. And now I will leave your contact information in the show notes, but what is the company that you work with? You work for?
Oh, so I own a group of companies. One is App Royal, which is an SAP Global Gold partner. Then you've got Mugatu AI, which is an AI based focused partner. And then I also have Charging Bunny, and then that's an EV based, solar based charging organization. And literally all three of them intertwine together because we use the tools from one for the other. And team members do not work for each company, but we do have team members that work together as partner organizations.
I love it. And I definitely say that my peers in HR, like I said, we don't always know the behind the scenes, and so we
Yeah.
rely on you. In fact, many organizations invest heavily in enterprise technology,
Yeah.
but the transformation often falls short. I was reading a
Yeah.
study from a PwC HR technology survey, and oh,
Oh, yeah.
this just makes me go, oh, this hurts my budget heart. Only 35% of HR leaders believe that their HR technology is actually being used to its full potential. So,
Oh, I
what,
believe
in
that.
your opinion and your expertise, what are the most common mistakes companies make when implementing HR and enterprise software?
Well, first, it starts at the enterprise level. When you look at an Oracle, an SAP, a ServiceNow, a Workdays, they don't take advantage of the tool itself. And your question reverts to that. So, what are the start looking at the basics of HR, okay, in regards to the training activities, the day-to-day, the onboarding, the SOPs that you can create, the travel management activities, the cash management activities, corporate credit card activities that are aligned with that. Um, they tend to pick one or two. Oh, I'm just going to use this for the recruiting side, or I'm going to use this for recruiting and onboarding activities, and we'll deal with the finance, can deal with the what they do with their benefits. Well, no, benefits should be in HR with a dotted line back to finance.
Right.
And you need to have these laid out. And then, oh, by the way, are you going to do, how's your onboarding, how's your training, how's your go forward with, who's going to be the mentors in there, who's going to do internships, all those things lay on the table of the HR team. And I tell people in organizations all the time, you don't have to do it all at once,
Right.
but know what's in the catalog and start implementing. And once you get them implemented, find yourself a champion inside your organization. I get it. A lot of people are solo entrepreneurs. I was a solo entrepreneur, but I bought the tools in order to be able to bring in the people and say, okay, here's your training, here's your onboarding, this is what we need to do from taxes, this is our corporate liability insurances, and blah blah blah. And we went through those processes, and we started with gusto for the first go round, and then as we started to get bigger and grow, we moved away from that and into the SAP ecosystem itself and the HR module. And it's a continuous cycle of updating, upgrading, and making sure that that whole platform is used. We brought in Concur. Concur is an HR travel management tool that bolts onto the SAP HR module suite. And to be able to make that happen, we had to retrain people on travel management and their corporate credit cards and their expense accounts, and all that funnels through the HR team. And that's why they're so important. They're the number one most important people, other than getting the bills paid and find out who's paying us.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree with you. And I think our listeners who are wearing the HR hat agree as well. In technology, can help the business transformation. It can help us across other departments like marketing and finance and
Mm-hmm.
sales, all speak the same language and not have to, all be doing the same thing of putting data in and data out, because we're all sharing the same data. So
It's the
super,
same
super,
data.
yeah, super important. Otherwise, the digital transformation, including AI, which we have up next, it fails, right? And in
Exactly.
fact, McKinsey and Company did a survey, a study, and they said that 70% of digital transformations in organizations fail because they're not using the right technology and they're not getting the leadership on board. So HR,
It's
learn some
interesting you brought
technology.
that up.
Oh,
I
go
love
ahead.
that you brought up that McKinsey one, because I talked about this when it came out, and people were just floored. AI is a failure. There's nothing going. Oh my God. Well, if you read further into that, and they talk about the use cases that were discussed, and they were failures, because when you cannot use Canva to do data manipulation. Canva is for marketing. So what really happens with, no matter what module or what role you have within your organization, using the right tool to bring forward any change or any ROI or any of the activity around it, you must start with the proper tools, the proper people who are motivated to do it within your group, and then be able to build that ROI, and then have those pilots and ROI activities go forward. And McKinsey was so right. It was funny reading that, because I just started chuckling after about the second or third paragraph of what people were doing. And I've seen it. I have literally seen people use Canva, which is a marketing tool, to make really nice little banners and graphics, try to use it for data manipulation. I'm like, what are you doing? It's no wonder you're losing money and you're not moving forward.
Yeah, and your employees, never mind your customers, are frustrated,
Oh,
right? I
yes.
love that, you're already making this, a lot of this makes sense. I was going to say you're known for making complex enterprise technology topics understandable. So,
Thank you.
what should HR leaders really understand about artificial intelligence and enterprise platforms right now?
Uh, that AI is going to be everywhere, first and foremost. So get your people ready for that transition. Two, Find a capability of a data repository. The one, I call it the one data record. Everybody in the organization should be using one. And in SAP, they call it HANA. In Oracle, they've got their Oracle databases. These organizations need to have that one record of truth. And so they all need to come from the same data repository. 2, level up your people immediately. AI is going to make them bigger, better, faster, and stronger. Humans, as long as they're willing to learn and take on that responsibility to learn, and find champions. Find champions throughout your organization. If you're the VP of HR, the director, the manager, or whatever the high level role is, and you know somebody really likes certain things within or is willing to take on new initiatives, that's the person you kind of, hey, come on in. I want to talk to you about an initiative that we have at the company. I think you would be perfect for. Now, how you structure that with your HR team in regards to additional pays and time and structure and away from their other duties, that's for organizations to learn and to figure out.
Right.
But when you find that champion and you train that champion then trains others and gets them motivated. That's when change happens for the good inside organizations. And it starts with the person with the understanding that this is a benefit to the company, and usually somebody within the HR organization.
Yeah, absolutely. Gartner says that 60% of HR leaders expect artificial intelligence to automate routine HR tasks within the next 5 years. And I would say, within the next year, really. I mean, I myself am an AI groupie, an AI junkie, but listeners, there are risks. We still need humans. 100% AI can help with tasks. We still need humans to say, okay, is that appropriate? Did I ask it the right way? Did I ask the right question or put in the right prompt? Or and then what am I going to do with that? So don't be afraid of HR taking over your job. Trust me, there's still going to be enough opportunities, strengths, and then unfortunately challenges, because we are hiring humans, and humans already present a challenge no matter what role it is, good, bad, or indifferent, right?
Oh, absolutely. The human entity will never be out of the infinity loop when it comes to the AI solution set. And so you just made a perfect point. And then I bring that point up when I go speak at universities, because these young people are trying to figure out what do they need to have capability wise to impress the HR lady. And so at the end of the day, I tell them all the time, learn your tools, learn to be interactive with humans, get out there and be able to have a conversation with individuals. If you're just a keyboard monkey like I used to be back in the day, you are not going to get the job any longer, and you're not going to move up the corporate ladder. So you need to level yourself up that one level and make sure that you're bringing in the details of the prompts and the capabilities and the actionable items between humans and human, as well as business and technology, because those are some very, very interesting conversations. And sometimes these young people get scared of that, especially when they're in college and they're just doing book work. When you get them out there and doing interns, so I tell them, you must have internships as you're moving forward. I need to see that you can actually handle this. Can you talk to an executive in the room? Can you talk to a business individual from HR, marketing, finance in the room when you're doing this? So if you're the HR intern, you better be able to talk to the VP of HR and have a very common conversation with them that everybody else should be able to have.
Yeah, 100% agree. I mean, it would be ideal to have interns, especially unpaid interns, although I'm not an advocate for unpaid, but to say, all right, let's check out what could the young people teach us. I kind of chuckled when you said, oh, the young people are afraid of it. I'm like, oh no, it's the old people too, and I'm old, so I can say that.
Well, it scares me about the old people. The older, sorry, I don't know why that came on. The older individuals in companies, and I just literally had this 2 weeks ago. I was at I was on an offsite, and one of the individuals was going through, and we were talking about their upgrade and doing activities. And I literally pulled. There was a VP of HR. There was a VP, corporate VP, and somebody else, a CIO, I believe. And I pulled them aside. I said, well, what's wrong with this individual over here? They were not engaging. They didn't care. They were doodling around. I said, well, that's, and I won't say her name, of course, that's so-and-so. I said, well, is she not happy? Is she not like me? Does she not like bald men? What's going on? She goes, oh no. She told us flat out that she's got 2 years left. She's not interested in any of this.
Whoa.
I said, wait, what? She goes, yeah, she's 2 years away from retirement and she thinks that she can just slide by. And we've told her that you need to be a part of this. And apparently she made some comment about ageism and stuff. And he said, well, this isn't ageism. This is about learning what we're doing as a company. And she was not having any of it. And apparently that went down not so well with everybody, and that's on them.
Right.
They need to take care of that. But you're starting to see some of the more mature individuals. I'm 56, almost 57. Now I get it. I look like I'm 35, but at the end of the day, I'm getting close to retirement, hopefully soon. And I'm the person that does want to keep on learning and keep on growing.
Same
but there
here.
are individuals that literally are like, you know what? This is way too much for me. I just want to do what I do every day. But what they do every day is going to be gone. That's no longer going to be capable. And so HR needs to work with them to guide them, help them. And so we try to help them with that as well, giving them some real fast wins. That's a great thing with HR folks, is you can give people fast wins in education and training. And all of a sudden, just like that pretty smile on your face, HR lady, boom, there they are. They're smiling. They're happy. Like, oh, shoot, I can do this.
Like,
Let's
oh yeah,
not
only can I do this, it's easier than I thought, and it's helping me be more productive, which means, I can say, all right, I did my job. And maybe, I just came up with this idea on the fly here. Maybe for those individuals, regardless of age and experience, and maybe the ones that are saying, I'm not really interested or I'm scared of AI. Maybe you say, you know what, you can reduce your work schedule or your workload by using this. That might be one way to say, okay, never mind. Now I'm interested now. Or,
Yes.
now you could finally use your PTO because you're not going to be having to slam in 40, 50 hours because of this. That could be another way, as long as you're still providing benefits for those people that are not working over 40 hours, 40 or more. So HR, you need to make sure that you're a change leader, not just a technology user. It's so important. So, Chris, what really should HR leaders start doing now to prepare for AI driven organizations? I think the first thing is they need to educate themselves as a user, correct?
Yes, absolutely correct. The leaders of any organization that are part of the HR will stick with the HR module and the HR team. They need to educate themselves because they are the ones that need to then assimilate that depending upon what module and what division. So HR needs to help marketing. They need to help finance. They need to help shop floor. They need to help the distribution, the manufacturing folks, whoever and whatever there. They need to educate themselves on the tools and the capabilities that are there. Because you and I were talking about this earlier. Two tools are not the same for each division. You may do some technology, ABAP, and you're doing Claude in one, and you're doing ChatGPT and Perplexity.
Right.
But then you've got these Canvas and marketing. And you've got different things with HubSpots and Salesforce.com and all those tools. You got to make sure you're using the right tool in the right area, and it's going to have those individual effects to benefit the company.
Yeah, and folks that are listening, this HR Empowerment Podcast is through Aurora Training Advantage, and I personally will be teaching how to use AI, ChatGPT, Claude. We're going to eventually roll out Copilot as well as Gemini on the basics. So tune in to those so you could at least feel a little bit more comfortable, like which program am I going to use? Which program does my company use so that I can get things done? And then for those folks that are maybe looking for new job opportunities, you could also use it to, revamp your resume, get ready for interviews. Just please note, be very, very careful of any personal information that you're putting in there. Right, Chris?
Yes, absolutely. Please do not put your personal details, social security numbers, bank account numbers, all that kind of fun stuff up into any of the systems. I'll leave them with this story. I had somebody that uploaded a 22 tabbed Excel document. Mind you, 22 tabbed Excel document is just disgusting, but they uploaded that at their company's work facility. And it was the finance team, not the HR, that
Oh
uploaded the entire company's 401k details because they wanted to analyze and see if there was a way that they could get some better benefits and they can do. And that system went up. It's the reason why I created a tool offsite on a different activity, but it was just horrible, just horrible that people do that. So please don't do that.
yes, please be very careful. It is the most amazing thing ever, but I usually just rip out all personal or even company information when I'm working with clients as a consultant. And then I just put in, some basic information. I literally just used it last week. Doing a huge company survey for a government agency, thousands of employees. And I was like, oh, they want reports by department. This is going to take forever. And I took out all the personal information and used AI to create what Chris would die for, but like a 30 tab Excel sheet per department. And I was like, that would have took me 60 hours. It took me about 6. After I cleaned it all up and everything. And I just delivered it today, in fact, and my clients are very happy with that. But you do need to know that it is sensitive information. So if you are going to start using AI technology type tools for your, say, HRIS system, your company-wise enterprise system, get an expert like Chris involved, right, Chris?
Absolutely agree.
So
Absolutely, because we can
thank
help.
you so much. I'm an AI junkie like you as well, and I get so excited about it. But I'm huge of saying, please be careful. Another stat before we wrap up, I wanted to say is that companies that actively manage change during digital transformation, including artificial intelligence, are 6 times more likely to achieve the successful outcomes that they actually wanted. So, bada bing, let's do this, right?
Amen.
Chris, thank you so much for being with us. Before we wrap up, are there any resources you'd recommend to listeners, including how to connect with you?
Yes, I do. I would love to share. I've got a couple of Gamma sites out there where I've talked about different organizational pieces that are, jobs that are likely to be replaced and how you can up level yourself. And then I've got my LinkedIn. I love to have coffee and bourbon with people. And anytime I'm traveling around the globe, if anybody says that they heard me on the podcast, please connect with me on LinkedIn. I travel and I speak all over the place. I would love to buy a person a coffee or a bourbon and just talk about life, liberty, and the pursuit of AI happiness in HR.
I will make sure that your LinkedIn link is in the podcast notes, and everybody make sure that you feel free to listen and share. We're on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and then of course on the Aurora Training Advantage website. Thank you so much. You've got me all excited and fired up to go and use AI and make sure
There
that
we
we're
go.
teaching everybody in the world, from the front office receptionist to the CFO, how to use AI effectively but safely.
Efficiently and effectively, safely. Absolutely correct. Thank you for
Awesome.
having me. I
Thank you so
appreciate it.
much. Thanks. Take
Oh, love.
care.
Thank you.